From tablets to drones, even tractors with their own computers. As a farm family of Mississippi, we use the latest technology to get the most out of our land, growing acres of rice, soybeans, and corn. These digital tools help us map out where to plant and harvest. They manage our farmland from a bird's eye view and even tell us the right amount of water to use.
It's a smarter way to farm, providing for our family and yours, the farm families of Mississippi.
Really, grateful of our players, for them to come on a short week on the road in a hostile environment, very hostile. I'd been here one time before with Alabama, but it was different. There was different energy in there. Really cost us actually on the early fourth down. We were trying to get out of it, and players couldn't even hear us. With, I guess they're not supposed to ring them at that point, but it seems like they were. So, that cost us a critical situation there. And our defense really, bend don't break the whole day, and keeping them to all those field goal attempts was huge. And our offense struggled early. Those are really good defensive players. I said it all week, and you see them in warm-ups. They're really long. They've recruited extremely well there on defense, and you can see it. So it's not easy, and guys rose to the occasion and find a way to win, and they did it. It wasn't easy. It's a top 10 rush defense and on the road. So just so proud of our guys, and just awesome to see them. Before we got here, they've talked a lot about it, these 5th, 6-year seniors, what they've been through to get to this point, and to watch them and just watch them sing there at the end and enjoy it is really neat. And told them all week, you can do things that are special, but it's really special if you do something that's never been done before at a place. And they'd never won 10 regular season games. And for this group of players and assistant coaches to do that was really cool.
Nick Suss, go ahead.
Lane, there's going to be a lot made about the 10 wins. Is this what you foresaw when you started the season, or did it kind of click for you later that you guys had this sort of potential?
I would have foreseen this season. I don't know if you would ask me 2 years ago necessarily when we first got here, but after spending a year with the offensive firepower and coming back, I don't know if I would have predicted if you would have told me the quarterback would have been hurt, all 3 receivers would have been hurt, and all 3 of those guys missed time, and some all at the same time. I don't know that I would have predicted that, but our defense held us together through those injuries and did it again tonight, and the third downs are kind of crazy. 11 of 18 on offense, 4 of 14 for those guys was a huge part of the game.
Michael Katz, go ahead.
Hey, Lane, I know when we've talked to Matt earlier this year, he's brought up that there's just something special about this team and the guys in the locker room. From your perspective, what is it that has kind of made this team a little bit different?
I don't know. I kind of call them blended family. It just kind of gets put together. Some have been here 6 years, from the beginning, and some been here 1 year. And they've come from all over the place. We got transfers, walk-ons, everything. So it's really cool to see them pick each other up. Every coach always says, this team's a family, and they say that every year, and that's not really true. So this is one of those unique years, unique teams. They really are, and they protect each other like that and play for each other like that.
Blake Topmeyer, go ahead.
Yeah, Lane, you guys at this point are probably almost certainly going to a New Year's Six bowl game. Can you put into perspective what that means for Ole Miss football?
Well, I hope we are, because they just all celebrated like we are. So you have some really upset players. They went 10-2 in the SEC and aren't. So it's just it really is remarkable. What these kids did, and they call themselves Band of Brothers, and they really are. And it's really special. And again, never doing 10 regular seasons, do it. Football has been played here a long time. And, and the SEC is as strong as ever, with more SEC teams than there used to be. So it's even harder. And so really, really special deal.
Nick Suss, go ahead.
Lane, was there a point in the spring or summer, or maybe even in the fall, when you saw the defense kind of believe in itself for the capabilities it's shown later in the year?
Yeah, I think they had some scrimmages where when we're full strength on offense, when Ben was there and the receivers are healthy, we're really good with this quarterback. And so, our defense would struggle. And then there's a couple of scrimmages that they really stopped the offense. And I think they felt that confidence, and it just started in the Louisville game. Just such a different feeling to the way that they hit, the way that they played. And obviously schematical change helped and transfers helped. Kind of went free agency, whether it was new guys like Chance coming right now or guys that had set out last year, like Otis and Mark.
Blake Topmeyer, go ahead.
And Springer, obviously, sorry.
Lane, I don't know if you've thought about this, but there's a lot of talk in the offseason about a 12-team playoff. If that were in place today, you all would be headed to the playoff with a chance to play for the national championship or compete for it. Has that thought crossed your mind? And what do you think about it if so? The fact that if that were in place, you guys would be playoff bound.
Yeah, I don't think that way. I mean, that's fun for fans and you guys to write about, to give people something to read, but that's not the case, so it doesn't matter. So I don't really think about things that aren't possible.
Any other questions for Coach?
You never know. Maybe everybody lose Saturday and we'll get in. Never know.
I'll follow up, not on that thought, but
I don't know analytically if that's possible. I haven't studied the analytics.
Not with the defense. I guess to follow up on what Nick asked, is a 1-year turnaround. What allowed for that to happen? I mean, you guys, it's been well discussed. We're not very good defensively last year, and kind of holding your own at this point. Are there a few things that maybe you think allowed for that to turn around as well as it has in 1 year?
Yeah, two major things: a major schematical change, completely different. Wholesale on it. We didn't go halfway and say, okay, on first and second down, we're going to do it, but on third down, not. We went all in on it. It's kind of like going tempo offense, just going all in. And players. I mean, you got different players than a year ago out there too, playing, with Otis and Mark and Springer and Chance. That's a lot of guys right there.
Nick Suss, go ahead.
I know you kind of downplayed the rivalry this week, but after that Ealy touchdown, we saw you kind of get into it with your sideline and with some of the fans. Just what does it feel like to you to kind of get swept up in the emotion of a moment like that?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that, but I get it now. Like I said, it was different than coming here in Alabama. There is, a lot of things said to you on the way out. Their players, say a lot of things during the game, and it gets emotional and gets competitive. So I did kind of get caught up in that. And those bells are really annoying, by the way. So, and they don't even come close to following the rules. So whatever rule that is that they're supposed to stop, they don't.
Great. Thanks, Coach.
All right, Madeline, you can start us off.
We'll open it up with questions for Sam. Nick Suss, go ahead.
Sam, you've been here a long time. Just did you ever foresee a 10-win season coming in your final year? Did you think, or when, I guess, did you think this was really a possibility?
Last year I did. Once Lane came and basically tried to turn everything around. And as you see last year, he kind of shifted. So I can say I did. I mean, I really thought we was gonna go undefeated for real. I mean, of course, Bama was gonna be our toughest battle, but other than that, I feel like how we was playing last year, then we came together, like I said before, as a brotherhood. I mean, yeah, I can see them all the way.
With the defense, was it really as simple as just a new scheme and belief, or was there something else that over this last 4 months you've seen kind of click for you guys?
I don't think there was a new scheme. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. It's just a mindset. Like I said before, we came together, had a team meeting, and we decided to do it. And as you can see, we're doing it.
Blake Topmeyer, go ahead.
Yeah, with this win, y'all are probably gonna be headed for a New Year's Six bowl game. Can you speak to sort of what that means for this program for Ole Miss football?
Well, it's big. I mean, it's big because I remember when I first came, we didn't even go to a bowl game. I think it's because we was ineligible or something like, I don't know, some rule or whatever. Then we went to the Outback Bowl. I mean, now like look at us like, and the thing is, this is just the beginning for Ole Miss. It's gonna keep getting better, it's gonna keep increasing, and I wouldn't be surprised like more things to come, honestly.
Any other questions for Sam? Nick Suss, go ahead.
Pass rush really turned things up there in the second half. Just what were you guys able to do? Was it wearing them down, or what were you able to do to kind of get to Rodgers more late?
We kind of saw that they was gonna pass the ball. I mean, at first we got a read run pass, but now they gave us a green light. Like, just go. I like that. That's what I like. I mean, just go. I said, okay, let's do it.
Blake Topmeyer, go ahead.
Yeah, to follow up on something you said earlier, you said that you maybe did kind of foresee this turnaround coming when Lane got here a year ago. Maybe what made you think that, other than just getting a new coach? Was there something that changed within the program that made you think this turnaround was coming?
The mindset. I mean, like when you look back, it was like now when we lose, even if we lose by 1 point, it's not okay. We don't see nobody talking, laughing, playing. Like, I can't say that for my first year. Like, if we lose, we lost, and it hurts. And then, like, if you would come to one of our practices after a loss, you would be like, man, these dudes playing like a game in practice. Like that, it's just a change of the mindset, because no one likes to be a loser. Like me personally, I've been a loser all my life. Honestly, like I've never been 10-2 from high school to JUCO. Like, this is my first season that I actually have a winning season. So, I mean, yeah, so it's just different. Like, we're not losers, you know? I mean, we have the talent, we have the players. We just put it all together. We got the leadership, and now we just put it all together, the missing pieces.
Nick Suss, go ahead.
Lane talked about how he thinks this locker room truly does have some of the best leadership and some of the best togetherness he's ever seen. Where do you think that came from?
Basically, the older guys had to mature, like myself. Like when I first got to Ole Miss, like I didn't have that senior guy to like lead me on, because like I was a starter since I got here. So like I didn't really have anybody to teach me like little bro, like don't do this, don't do that, or like when we in practice, like, you know what I mean? But like now we got me, KD, we got older guys that help the young guys. Like even Said Johnson, you know, he's what sophomore. He's taking role of a leader by I see him giving pass rush tips to the freshmen that just got here when we do one-on-one pass rush in practice. It's just so much. Like if you like, I don't know, you just have to been here to understand like the way everyone grown up, because like I said, like we saw that we had a chance. Like if you give us a chance, like it's over with, like it's done.
Any other questions for Sam?
Thanks,
Great.
Sam.
Thanks.
All right, Madeline, you can start us off.
Michael Katz, go ahead.
Hey, Matt, this whole season, you've kind of brought up that this team was just a little bit different. At what point did you know that this team just had something special about it? And have you been able to put a finger on what exactly it is?
You asked, have I put a finger on it? Like, could I?
Yeah.
Well, I started noticing it around end of last season. And it wasn't just me. It was, coaches preaching it. And it was really just us believing it. And, they wanted it to come from me from the beginning to be the believer as a leader. And, that's what I did. And, at times it wasn't it wasn't easy, but, you know, I had my teammates to have my back, like Braylon, Chance, you know, OT, Mark Robinson, you know, all these guys who everybody in each position room, there's always, you know, one or a couple leaders in each room. And I think that was the biggest difference. And, you know, I said this before, I couldn't be more prouder than those guys just because they demanded more out of themselves, and not only themselves, but their teammates as well. And that's this big camaraderie that we have of, you know, of love and trust.
Nick Suss, go ahead.
When all of you veterans decided to come back last year, was this kind of what you envisioned? Was this what you saw coming?
It's not what we saw coming, but it was something that we for sure worked for as a purpose, you know, going into the 5 a.m.s, you know, in 20-degree weather in January, just having a throwing session with our, just me and the quarterbacks, just doing it on our own, and just being able to, you know, work through that as you know, as time goes on. And it's not easy because there's some days where you don't want to do it, you know, and just pushing through that, and your team noticing that you're pushing through it, because, you know, 12-week season, you know, we're in our 12th week. You know, it's hard to do the little things that keep and stay on the little things, so the big things get taken care of. And just being able to, you know, handle the little things and keeping the main thing, and just preaching that and keep making sure everybody's on the same page. I think that's what we did a good job of.
Michael Katz, go ahead.
Matt, I'm not sure if you've thought this far ahead yet, but have you thought about whether you are going to play in the bowl game? It's probably going to be a New Year's Six game.
Yeah, I'm healthy. I'm playing.
Blake Topmeyer, go ahead.
And Matt, for a guy from California, but someone who's played in this rivalry several times now, when did it sink in for you what this rivalry means, and can you sort of put into perspective what winning this game means for Ole Miss?
You know, this game is, you know, it has a lot of history behind it, and just understanding that history, you know, people on this staff that have grown up, you know, through Ole Miss, like grown up as a little kid in Oxford, that, you know, experienced this rivalry, and, you know, how much it means to them, and them explaining what it means to us. So, I mean, just being in that room and, you know, feeling those coaches' energies, like you could tell, like, okay, this rivalry is real for sure. And, you know, just like the Tennessee game, going into a hostile environment, just not getting into the emotions, you know, just keeping the main thing, not worried about what's going on outside, you know, doing your job one play at a time. And what was that second question?
Just what it means to beat an in-state run.
I mean,
yeah.
Not only is this a big win for, you know, our rivalry and Ole Miss, but, you know, us winning this game, we go down in history, because Ole Miss has never had a 10-win regular season, or 10 regular season wins. So, I mean, that's definitely a good feeling. You know, it's a good feeling when a program hasn't done something in a very long time and you do it, but to do something that hasn't been done before ever in the history of this school, I think that's something special, and it speaks a lot for people in this locker room.
Nick Suss, go ahead.
When did that 10-win stat end up on your radar? When were you guys kind of using that as motivation?
After last weekend, you know, I didn't know that. And Kiffin always preaches one game at a time. And, you know, he laid it all on us, because, you know, this was our last game, and what we had at stake, we had a New Year's Six bowl, and we had this 10-win season that was at stake. And I think that really gave us extra motivation for sure.
Any other questions for Matt? Great. Thank you.
Thank you.